tired of switching your email platforms and just feeling lost in the process? Today is going to be a tutorial using our amazing sales and marketing software called From Leads to Sales. And I'm going to break down the seamless way to upload your email list, which is probably one of the first things you're going to want to do when you join the software. So don't let the technology slow you down. Let's jump in and get started. Welcome, everyone. Whether you are a seasoned email marketing veteran or someone who's brand new to digital communication, the first thing you want to do is make sure that your email is set up properly and that you have a list of people to send your email to. We're going to want to make sure that you have your email marketing set up and that you have a list of people, of contacts, who you can send that email to. So today I'm going to guide you through the steps of exporting your emails from wherever they are or creating your first email list and then importing them into From Leads to Sales, which is our white labeled version of Go High Level. And it is amazing. So you're going to see how simple this is and how easy it is and how anyone can do it. Or you may want to show this to your marketing VA and have them do it for you. Trust me, it's easier than you think. So let's jump in. Once you've signed up for From Leads to Sales, which is an amazing sales and marketing software that we love, the first thing that you're probably going to want to do is to upload your email list so you can get started emailing your entire list from the software. The first thing that you need to do is to set up the document that you are going to upload. If you already have an email service, for example, MailChimp or ConvertKit, you can go in and Google how to export emails from MailChimp. So you'll follow the instructions here for whatever email software you're using, and you will want to export it as something called a CSV file. Right here it says CSV, which stands for comma separated value. And that just means it's in a format. It looks identical to Excel, but it's easier for the software to interpret what's in the file. And that's really a normal thing. So again, if you are exporting your contacts from another type of email software that you're using, go ahead and search for how to export it as a CSV file. And then you would just go ahead and save that into a folder somewhere on your desktop or in your folders where you can easily find it. However, if you do not have an email service that you've been using, hopefully you have something like an Excel spreadsheet. If you do have an Excel spreadsheet, there is a way to click on File, Export as CSV. And it's just as simple as this. Go to File, and then in the Save As box at the bottom, it says, choose the text file format for the worksheet. The one you're going to want to select is CSV, comma delimited if it has it, or just CSV file is fine. If you do not have either of those things, then you're going to want to create your own. So you can do it really easily here in Google Drive. We want to do File, New Sheet. And then the first row, we're going to want to consider like a header. And so the first thing you need to have in here is someone's first name and then their last name or surname. The reason that we want those in two separate columns is if we want to send an email and we want to say Dear Sue instead of Dear Sue Smith, we're going to have to let the software know this is their first name, this is their last name. We only want their first name included in the Dear section. That's the reason why we want to separate the first name and the last name. So the next thing you're going to want in here is obviously their email address, because that's what we're uploading. Then if you want to put things in here like their website address, their phone number, business name, assets that you know about the company or the person that you want to import into the new software. And that's because, remember, this software is a CRM, so there are a lot of things that we can do. You certainly want, like I said, their email address so you can email them, but you might want their phone number because at some point you may want to text them. You might want their business name or their website address so that you can find out more information about them. These are all optional headers, and for this example, we're just going to keep it clean and just put their first name, last name, email address, phone number. Now, I do like to include a column called tag. So what this does is, let's say we're importing a list from MailChimp, or maybe it's our LinkedIn list of contacts. If you indicate what you want that tag to be, when you import this list into the software, it will tag all these people with that particular tag. And the reason that's nice is if you think about the list that you're importing, and let's say you think, you know what, there might be a time when I want to email just the people on this list. Like I said, if it's your contacts that you've exported from LinkedIn, maybe in the email that you write, you may want to mention something about LinkedIn. Hey, I saw you on LinkedIn and thought this might be of value to you. Or let's say the tag is people that you met at a networking event. So you might want to put networking and then the name of the networking group, because then you can send an email just to that group of people and you can designate it by the tag. So the tag can help you keep your contact list organized and also can help you segment your list so that you are sending something a little more specific to specific people. In this case, we're going to go ahead and fill this out. So let's say we've got Sue Smith, and her email address is smith@gmail.com. Her phone number. So I might be dating myself a little bit. Tag, I'm going to say networking, and then let's say BNI. So we're going to put Bob Jones. Okay, so now we're just going to use this really short list and we will give it a name. So this is going to be our contacts. Just so when we go back in our Google Drive, we'll know where to find them. So what we want to do here is go File, Download, and we want to download this as a CSV file. For those of you who have a marketing virtual assistant, you can show them this video and they can take care of all of this for you. So we're gonna go ahead and save this. A couple of things to remember with regards to this CSV file is it needs to be only one sheet. So you'll notice down here at the bottom, this is sheet 1, and we can add other sheets into this document. Maybe we want to keep all of these numbers in one place or all of these contacts in one place, but we want to separate it by the different networking groups that we met. So this particular document that you are using and that you are going to import to your CRM, you have to make sure it just has the one sheet here. Another requirement is that it is smaller than 50 megabytes, which if it doesn't include photos or pictures, which it shouldn't, that's a pretty big number. So there's a pretty good likelihood that you won't have any trouble with that at all. And then the other specification requirement is, as I mentioned, you have to have this header row, and you'll see why when we go ahead and import this. So now we're going to go into the software, or from leads to sales software. Now we're going to head over to our From Leads to Sales and Marketing software, and we're going to go over to the Contacts tab. And the first thing you'll see is Smart Lists, and that's where everything is. This is where we want to be. What we're going to do over here is go to Import Contacts. And then you can either drag and drop your file here, or we're just going to find this by clicking here and putting Upload. And then here's our sheet that we want to upload, and we're going to click Open. So now what it's doing is it's opening the sheet, and we're going to click Next. So now it's opening the sheet, and now it wants to know, you put these headers on each of the columns, which are right here, and we were able to match some of them, but we didn't know what some of them were. So you can see this check mark. So first name, they can see is the first name is a first name. And so in this case, a couple of people on our list who have first names are Sue and Bob. So it's just telling you that we're recognizing that the first name in these columns are Sue and Bob, just to confirm that's correct. Same thing with last name, Smith and Jones, they're assigning that as a last name. However, the email address, I wasn't sure what to do with those. So we go over here and click Select, and then we tell it this is our email addresses. And then it did recognize the phone number, gave you the example, and then the phone, and then it did understand that the column was a tag. And so it put Networking BNI as the tag. So this is just to make sure that the software understands where you want this information to go once it's imported into the software. So we click on the Next tab, and now this is just an internal name that you may want to go ahead and give the document. So if you go back to different tasks that you did in the software, you're going to understand what this was. So we're going to go ahead and put in new BNI contacts. If you go into the advanced, you can see that there are options here. So if you were importing names that had already been on your list, it wants to know what you want to do with those. Do you want to make them a new? Do you want to add them to the current record? And then if you didn't have tags in your CSV file, here's where you could go ahead and add tags. So we're not going to worry about that because we've got it all set, and we're going to click Submit. And now your files are being processed, and you can click here to see how we're doing. And this is up here. We are now in bulk actions. So you can see the name of this action was new BNI contacts. The status is complete. View the details if we wanted to. It'll give you the date, who created it, and then you can show the stats if you wanted to see that. But let's head on over to Smart Lists, and we are going to click on Import Contacts. We're going to click on Upload a File. Going to click on the sheet and Next. So now you can see that all three people, their names are right here, their phone numbers are right here, their email addresses, when they were created, and they each have the tag that we wanted them to have. Now you've imported the people that you want to email, and you're going to want to watch the next video where we talk about how to set up your first email in the software. So I hope you found this information really useful. If you have not already signed up for the software and you'd like to have a demo, you can go to FromLeadsToSales.com. It's an amazing all-in-one sales and marketing software that has not only email marketing, but it also does funnels and membership sites and all kinds of amazing things. So there you have it. Today we walked you through how to create a CSV file or export your contacts from your email marketing software and upload them to your new sales and marketing software from leads to sales. Remember, effective sales and marketing starts with having organized and accessible data. With these steps, you're not only setting yourself up to be more efficient, but you're setting yourself up to build a deeper connection with your contacts. Reaching out and making meaningful connections to your list has never been easier. So below you'll find a link to the From Leads to Sales software if you're interested in booking a time to do a demo so you can learn all the amazing things that it does. We are happy to talk to you about that. And let's get those leads turned into sales. See you in the next video.